dark. Let's go get lost. Just take my hand. Ignore the cost. Forget the plan. I feel the hours ticking down. Wish I could turn it all around. But in my mind, we're frozen perfectly in time. Can we turn back the night? Stay in the street for repeat. Can we turn back the night? Stay in the street for repeat. Can we turn back the night? Feels like I'm caught up in a trance. Can't come down all night. The city never stood a chance. With you by my side, it's all ours. So don't second guess. Let down your guard. Just take a chance. I feel the hours ticking down. Wish I could turn it all around. But in my mind, we're frozen perfectly in time. Can we turn back the night? Stay in the street for repeat. Can we turn back the night? Stay in the street for repeat. Can we turn back the night?
Good afternoon, Nympham. Sorry for the wait. We had some tech issues, but welcome back to a new series on my channel for Ultimate Champion, and in is the deadline stream. Today I'm joined by not one, but two Ultimate Champion legends to help us navigate Gameweek 98. So welcome back, Johnny. You helped me get my head around the game and how to play Ultimate Champions with the little stream. So, you know, if anyone wants to check that out, they can. But how are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm all good. Thanks for having me back. And yeah, I've seen you've won a few epics, which is decent. So how have you been finding Ultimate Champion since since then?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's a new concept to get my head around, and there's a lot to learn. But yeah, I think I'm getting there slowly. I've had a lot of help from some really good people, including the the two on the stream today, so that helps a lot. Yeah, so okay, we do on that note have a new face to the stream, so please everyone give a big warm welcome, lots of hearts in the chat, to Civilized Gunner. Anyone in the Ultimate Champion circles know that Civilized Gunner is an absolute goat. So welcome, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing all right, Nim. Thank you so much for having me on the stream today. It's a pleasure to be here with you and John.
Oh, it's all good, buddy. It's all good. So we've had a little chat, haven't we? We've thought about the best way to kind of do this stream to try and help as many people as possible. So instead of limiting it down to particular tournaments, we've decided to do an optimal team, right?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. So what's happened is Johnny and Gunnar have each selected a player from a position, and we've made up the optimal team for you guys, and hopefully it will go through them, we'll discuss them all in detail, and it will hopefully help you guys just to know, who you could be choosing and which ones maybe are the optimal ones to get into certain tournaments as well. So I'll just hop on over to the other screen. And Johnny, you had the goalkeeper, right?
I think Civ started off with the.
Okay, cool. Right. So, Gunnar,
Absolutely.
talk us through the
Okay,
goalkeeper
so for my
pick.
first pick, okay, all right. So for my first pick, I went with Ivar Johnson from Vikingo.
Yep.
And the reason is, okay, first of all, we all know that Ultimate Champions goalkeepers are a bit hit or miss. It's never so easy to pick the one who's going to give you the points in that particular game week. But I've got for Inva because he's playing away and he's a really good goalkeeper. He's also playing for the best team in the league. So I think he has the potential to make a ton of saves. I'm thinking maybe anywhere from 3 to 4 saves because the home teams, they tend to attack a lot and, pepper the goalpost a lot. So I think he could make a ton of saves. And there's also a chance that he's going to keep a clean sheet as well. I think they have a clean sheet probability of about 45%. So that's good enough for me.
Yeah, I mean that sounds pretty good. I don't have this dude. Do you have him, Johnny?
I don't either, but definitely would like to pick him up, but just haven't got around to it yet.
See, that's why he's the GOAT, isn't it? But if anyone does own him, get him in your team. Absolutely. Okay, so moving on to the defenders then. Johnny, this will be your pick first.
Yeah, so I guess we've kind of doubled up on Viking defence here. So I went for Ekroth, I think is how you pronounce it, but just a centre back. And I think I said on the last stream, like centre backs are generally a lot more reliable in terms of scoring for than fullbacks, just because they don't lose possession as much and they always get kind of lots of defensive contributions and possessive just from like sideways passes and stuff. And as Siv said, it's about a 45% chance for a clean sheet. So that's another big positive of going for Ekroth. Not that I'd worked that out before, but thanks to yeah, and he's got a last five of 143. He's a really solid scorer, and especially when they do get clean sheets. And they're playing against Keflavik, who are bottom of the league, I think. So, yeah, pretty optimistic that they might get a clean sheet there.
Yeah, cool. So will you be playing this defender, Gunnar?
Well, no, actually. And for
Oh,
my next
interesting.
pick, no, it's actually a very good pick. I can't lie, but I don't own him right now.
Ah,
So
okay.
I've gone for Joachim Saltvet from Salzburg.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and normally, whenever like a new manager comes into the game and asks, sends me a DM like, "Oh, who should I buy?" Something like that. I'd probably tell you stay away from the wing backs, the full backs. But Saltvet has proven himself time and time again. I think he's one of those players that you could call like the exception to the rule. So he's a really effective wing back. He gets forward a lot. I think in the last game he took about 4 shots on goal. So he's very attack minded, but also gets in the clearances, the interceptions, and he's a duel monster. I think he has about 60% duel success rate. So absolutely for me, I'm going Saltvet.
Okay. Yeah. He sounds like a good solid pick to have. And Johnny, yourself?
Well, I mean, once again, it wasn't on purpose, but we're doubling up again on Salzburg players, and I went for Utvik.
Yes, a player I have.
It's a player I don't have actually, but
Ooh,
I might have his comment actually, but he's just been scoring some getting ridiculously high scores recently, and it's always good to pick players that are on form. And Salzburg won 6-1 in the last game, so they're a team in form as well. And I think he's just again a reliable centre back, and I think if you've got a good centre back that tends to score well, then got to fit him in your team. And the fixture's not too bad. I think they're away at Strom's Gap, or however you say it.
I know. I've come to thinking maybe I'll just start calling people Bob and teams Bridget or something.
I don't think the team they're playing are like particularly high scorers either, in terms of goal scoring. So yeah, I think he's a reliable player, and it's actually worked out quite well because it's not a bad idea to kind of stack your defenders if you're confident of a clean sheet, because bit of a high risk, high reward. But with these two teams, quite a good chance of getting a clean sheet, and if they both get a clean sheet, it will definitely pay off in terms of the scores.
Have we had any news on Broadtuft? Broadtuft. Because
I
he's
don't
one
think,
player I'm unsure about playing, one defender I'm unsure about playing this week.
yeah. So I actually bought a second of his mythic because I really like the guy, and I know he's been benched like what was it 3 times in the last 10 games or something, as we found out in Discord. A passionate rant, but I think whenever he plays, he's. I mean, if you look past a bit further back, he was hitting regularly 150, 200 scores, and I think Breeder Mo, I think, is the other centre back who has been starting ahead of him, and he's had a couple of stinkers in the last 2 games. So personally, I think Jortaf's got a decent chance of starting, and I've used him in 2 different tournaments, so I hope he does. I don't know what you think, Sid, but.
Yeah, I'm with Johnny on that one. I absolutely love Bjortoft. I think he plays like a ball playing defender for Bodo Glimt. And what he does is he tends to come out from defense and spread the ball around. He gets a lot of touches, a lot of accurate passes. I think he has like 95% um, pass accuracy on average. So I think it's just a matter of time before he starts getting in that first 11 consistently.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me a bit, from what I can gather, as a kind of Trent-like player. And I didn't start him last week, I think, and he came on and got an assist, didn't he? I think last week, so it was a bit like but thankfully the player I did play ahead of him did slightly better, so it didn't matter so much. Cool. Okay, then let's move on to the midfield. And who had the first pick for this one?
Sid.
Okay, I think I go first. Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
It's a 3-5-2, right? And my
Yep.
first midfielder, I've gone for, I think, the man that replaces Ollie Norwood for me. Absolutely the GOAT right now. Okay, I think it's up between him and someone else, but I'm going for Abdul Punyed.
Oh, another card I own. Woo! Yeah.
And this guy is he also plays for Vikingo as well, just like the other 2 picks we already mentioned. And he's absolutely at the heart of their midfield. He's involved in tackles, interceptions. He's involved in duels. He's also involved with key passes. He gets some assists and goals every now and again. I think you need him in your team for this game week.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Interesting. Johnny, agree with that one?
Yeah, definitely. He seems a super reliable player. I mean, at the end of it, I ended up picking the captain, and I went with captain in Punyed because I think they've got a really nice fixture. And yeah, as Siv said, he kind of CDM type and just sprays the ball, gets the defensive points, and yeah, I think he could be in for a big score. And I just wish I had a version of him, but I don't.
Yeah, well, I don't have a pretty version of him, unfortunately. I just have a common, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. So, Gunnar, your next pick in midfield. Oh no, sorry, that was Johnny, wasn't it? Your next pick in midfield.
Yeah, well, I mean, my next pick was Panic, who you said Punyed replaces Norwood, but for me, Panic replaces Norwood. I think Panic has just been ridiculous. I think his last 5 is 263, which is unheard of. Like before, anything above 150 was kind of a big score, and kind of 200 is the top end of the last 5 you'd expect to see. And Panic has just been tearing that apart. With RFS has been on great form, and he's chipped in with a few goals recently. And he's just getting so many possessive points, defensive points from that kind of anchor like CDM role for RFS, and they're up against Liepāja, who are a decent team, but I don't think they're any match for RFS. And when you got a player that good, it doesn't matter who he plays; he'll score very well, I think. So, yeah, he had to go straight in that team for me.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, in agreement. Who is your next pick, Gunnar?
Well, my next pick, to be honest, I'm not so sure about this one, but I'm going for Nisila from Coops, the Finnish champions, I think. And the reason why I'm not so sure right now is because they are struggling with a lot of injuries at the moment. I think they have Vettelli out. They have Popovic as well, probably out. And Tuominen, I think he missed the last game as well. So they're struggling with a lot of injuries. They're not in the greatest form right now. We know they can be good. They can be really good. Like um, they're the kind of team that could absolutely blow their opponents away this next fixture. They could beat them like 4-0. Or, with the current form, it's also possible that it could end up being like 1-0 or something. But I think whatever happens, Nisila could be a good pick. He could. He's always amongst the goals and the assists as well. So I'm going for Nisila.
Yeah, he is a player I've seen bandied about a little bit, so he sounds quite exciting. And Johnny, do you have him?
No, annoyingly, of the Cups players I have Popovic, who's now injured. I have Vitelli, who's potentially out for the season, and I have Tuomanen, who's missed the last 2 games. So the 3 that Sid mentioned who are injured were my 3 Cups players. So not great.
No, that's really unlucky.
I mean, Nasala's he's been on great form, and they're playing bottom of the league, but yeah, it would be interesting to see how they fare without some of their better players.
Yeah, agreed. And you have the next pick as well, don't you?
Yes. So next, I went for a bit of a risky one. Is Lucas Vatny, and he went a bit off form for a bit. I guess Meta were playing some of the stronger teams in Latvia, but the last 2 games he's had kind of, I think, 200 plus in his scores. And when he has a good game, he has a great game. He's kind of at the heart of the team for Meta. And they're playing Daugavpils. I don't know how you pronounce them, but I think they're kind of 8th or 9th in the league, and so I kind of back in Meta here to hopefully get a result. And I think if they get a few goals, it will probably come through Vatny, and he's always kind of getting defensive points, possessive points, and the odd goal and assist. But a bit of a riskier one. Could easily play it a bit safer there, but I quite like Lucas Vatny, so got to get him in the team, I reckon.
That's fair. And you agree with that pick, Gunnar?
Yeah, I actually went out and bought one of an epic version to use it on the 23, because I do agree with Johnny that it could be big this game.
Yeah, okay, nice. I like that. That's good. And you have our 5th and final pick for the midfield?
Yep. Okay, so
this is my star man.
So I went for Emerson.
Yes, good choice.
You have gone for Emerson. I think it speaks for itself. He's just one player that you can't ignore. And let me give you a stat that's going to surprise you if you don't know it already. In the history of the Latvian league, Emerson has scored the most goals against Riga FC.
Ooh, good job I've made him my captain then.
So he scores against Riga almost every game. And we talk about Douglas Aurelio a lot, but Aurelio, when you see Riga versus RFS actually play a game, Aurelio somehow doesn't do well. Emerson always does well. So that tells me that he's probably the best player in that league, and I would always love to have him in my team.
Yeah, I did some early trading. He probably feels like one of my best, probably besides Bar, who I'm just so incredibly sad about now that he's been that he's gone to a different team and we can no longer use him. But yeah, besides Bar, I think Emerson is probably the best negotiated player I've brought into my team so far. So I feel kind of, yeah, I did okay there. So very much like him. Okay then, cool. Well, we'll move on to our forwards. And just before we do, Johnny, I'm assuming you have Emerson?
No.
Wow.
I should have Emerson.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never got around to picking one up, but as Sid said, he's easily one of the best players in the league, if not the best. And yeah, against Riga the other day, he looked a class apart. And I saw another stat actually where he's RFS's all-time top scorer, because I think they only set up about 8 years ago, or maybe it was a rebranded club. But yeah, he's a cracking player. So I wish I had one, but I don't know. I've just never got around to picking one up. But.
Got a
player.
lot of chat happening around the formations of the Matrix Monsters team, but I will get on to a bit of chat about that later on. So stick with us on that one, guys. We will have a bit more of a general chat, and if you have any more kind of general questions for either of the guys, then do pop them in the chat, and we can ask them. So moving on to the forwards. And Johnny, you went for it first with this one.
Yeah, so again, probably the most obvious choice for a forward. Douglas Aurelio, pretty similar to Emerson, just one of the best players in the Latvian league. Both probably too good to be playing in Latvia, and he's had some crazy scores. I think his last five average was well above 200 at one point as well, which is especially good for forwards that tend to be a lot more kind of inconsistent. And he's just always kind of churning out top scores. And if you've got him, you've got to play him pretty much every week, I think.
Yeah, he's one player that I would love to have in my team that I don't have. So, maybe when I open my comments in a bit, he could just appear. That'd be great. I think I'd probably do some sort of massive celebration, start running around the house if I did. But he's definitely a name that I kind of have on the top of my list to acquire if I can. But it's the same, I guess, with yourself, Johnny, and an Emerson. It's the potential price for them, and is it potentially worth it? Where we are in the season and stuff like that. So it's a lot to weigh up when you kind of invest in them, isn't it?
Definitely, and also because they're two of the best players in the league, there's always a chance that they'll move on to an uncovered league. Cause you got to imagine teams are eyeing them up because they're just cracking players at that level anyway.
Cool. And gonna finish off the forwards for us, please, buddy.
I think this one picks itself. It's none other than Amal Pellegrino.
Yeah.
Obviously they play against Odd away, but we all know that Odd, even though when you look at the stats, they do look good in defense, but they do have a problem in defense. Recently, the manager changed up their defensive structure a bit to accommodate Hagen. He's 37, but he's very good on the ball. So they have a particular way they play. They try to control the game from defense, build up play, and he's absolutely amazing at it. But that kind of the drawback to that is he's quite slow now. He lacks a lot of athleticism, obviously because of his age. And I think that's something that Pellegrino can take advantage of. He's very quick, as we all know. He's very skillful. I think he'll get in the box a lot. I think he'll get off some shots on goal. And honestly, I think he's going to score a goal or two as well.
I liken him when I came into this game very much getting to know him a little bit. It feels like in FPL we have Haaland. He kind of feels like the Haaland of the Ultimate Champion world. You need to have some form of him, whether it's a common or or an epic or a mythic, just to kind of be a part of it, and so I always think it's quite interesting when I look through the teams in the leagues and somebody doesn't have them, and I'm thinking, oh, are they just coming from a left field kind of I'm going to take a punt here and do something different, or is it a case of not owning him? It's always interesting to look through, but he's great, right, Johnny?
Yeah, he's similar to a lot of the players in this team. He's just top level, and if you've got him, you can't not use him. And I've been trying to buy his mythic, but no one's selling him. But I did recently pick up an epic for the Gameweek 100 tournament. Once that was announced, because I was like, with Bodo's fixture, got to have him in the team or won't stand a chance because he's just too good. I think he'll have just a cracking few game weeks. But.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Okay, so our subs bench. So it was Johnny first, was it, for the subs?
Yes, I think I started off with. I'm just going to call him Cherno because Cherno Mordis, or I don't know. The Riga centre back hasn't scored too well recently. Riga have been kind of conceding a few goals, but I think you can always rely on Riga, and he probably won't get on anyway with the three defenders we've got. But he's a very safe option in case of a random DMP, and I think they're playing Auda, so. Oh, and I think Auda have quite a few players on loan from Riga, so probably means they're going to have a better chance at securing a clean sheet because I think Ogani, I don't know how to pronounce the name, but one of Auda's top players is on loan from Riga. So I think, yeah, Cherno's quite a safe pick, and he should have a good game week.
Yeah, and you agree with that, Gunnar?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
A good pick.
Seal of approval, Johnny. And your next sub there, Gunnar?
Okay, so I think I picked the last two subs, and then Johnny picked the captain.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go through them quickly. The midfielder, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I think it's Jokelainen from Oulu. He's under 23 and he's a very good player. We've seen him score master points in recent times. It's more of a differential pick just in case one of the midfielders don't play.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they have a very good fixture. Just looking at the odds right now, I think they have about 50-something% chance to win. So not very bad at all. Then for the final pick, I initially went for Kickervold from Cam, but I later changed that pick to Erlien from Tromsø, just because Tromsø have a very good fixture against Valerenga. 42% win probability. Erlien is one of the top scorers in the league. Like, I think he has about 7 goals already, if I'm not mistaken. And I really like him. He's a very good player.
Yeah, I as another one that's kind of been on my radar to look for. So I am been in the marketplace having a little look to see if I can if I can find. But yes, it's been a bit of a mad one, and knowing whether to stick with the summer leagues at the moment or try and focus a little bit on the winter leagues, coming up. So it's about winning some more tournaments so I can spread the love everywhere. But that is cool. That is our optimal team. So if you have any of these players, if you have all these players, then great, just get on it. But if you have any of these players, then do make sure to put them in the relevant tournaments that work for you guys, along with your other players. And I decided, because we were doing the stream today, that I would open my packs, my reward packs on stream for you guys. So I didn't have the best week, so it's not going to be anything majorly majorly exciting here, but I'll just get to showing you guys my rewards. And so I did get one of my best finishes in the elite tournament. I came 7th there, so that was nice. I actually got a bit of champ, but yeah, I didn't do particularly great in the other ones. I think what I'm learning is to really stack up in the tournaments that you want to compete in first, and then fill out the other tournaments, which is something that actually weirdly just didn't kind of occur to me initially. So I kind of started with my league on my page and then would go into the tournaments and almost just work my way down them. So I think it's been a bit of an eye-opener chatting to you guys and learning a bit more that it's best to kind of focus down a little bit first, get those teams in those tournaments you really want to focus on, and then and then fill in the rest. So which common am I going to get? Hopefully you guys can see this fine. So I got 2 for this one, and I have, this is gonna, Enarson, and I have Olsen, both from what club are they from? Just scroll down because I'm still learning them. Bradley,
Breidablik or
yeah.
from Iceland.
So I got both of them. And Arson doesn't look all that fab. So, but yeah, you never know. It's always
They're
good to have.
They're a good club though. They're third in Iceland, and I think they've just had 2 big results in the Champions League qualifiers or some European qualifiers. They won like 5-0 and 4-1 or something. So they're definitely a good club, but I'm not too sure about either of the players.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got to be honest, I don't even know these guys.
That bodes well. So I just got a bit of currency on that one, and then my final opening, one more common, Owusu of Ode. Any good? I see a shaky head. Oh, we got some good stats there. Got some good stats. Any feedback on him, guys?
I personally like him. He's scored pretty well recently. I've picked up his mythic a few weeks ago, and he's normally very reliable. I wouldn't play him this week though because they are playing Bodo, or I'd put him in a kind of throwaway team. But overall, very solid player.
Yeah,
I did put him in a throw team for this week. And like Johnny said, he's a very good player. And recently, like I mentioned before, the odd manager changed tactics a bit. So Owusu isn't playing central defense anymore. He's playing more of midfield. He's been very effective there of late.
We seem to have lost Gunnar there. Oh. There he is.
He's winning a lot of goals and getting himself involved with assists as well.
Okay, we lost you for a little bit there, but I think we got your general gist, thankfully. So, yeah, just a little bit, but you're good. You're back again now. So all good. We're all good. Cool. All right. I will just throw us back over here then, and we wanted to have a little general discussion about Game Week 11. I know it's something you guys wanted to touch upon. So, Johnny, what are your thoughts on Game Week 11?
Game Week 100.
Game Week 100. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, it does look really exciting. I think the team aspect is really cool. If you've seen about that. For the leagues, creating your private league. I know Sid's got the Matrix monsters ready, but I'm feeling pretty confident my team will one up them. But yeah, I think it's quite cool, kind of working collaboratively and all trying to help each other get the max amount of points possible. The league, and I think it's $50 champ per player for the winning team. I think it is, which is super generous. And it's just that's a completely free to play mode as well because it's league. So yeah, I think it's that's definitely exciting. And then obviously we've got the tournament with the biggest prize ever on Ultimate Champions, where you win it, you can select any unique, which is crazy.
Whoa!
And yeah, they've made it quite accessible for everyone because it's 1,600 point cap limit, no subs, and a max of 4 mythics, and you can even use 4 commons. So I'm expecting a lot of people to enter, even other than just first. I think there's prizes up to the top 100, and a lot on offer. So definitely worth trying to field a team if you can. And I think it's going to be an exciting game week. I don't know what you think, Civ.
Yeah, everything you said is spot on. I think there's not much to add about it. Johnny has said it all, but I'm just going to ask you one question. If you win that tournament, what unique are you going to pick?
Personally, I think it would have to be Martinelli from Arsenal, because they have confirmed you can pick any unique from any team that's not. It's not currently.
Gunner's laughing at that one. He's
I think he's hoping to get him for winning the season rewards.
okay.
You can't not pick Martinelli. He had a phenomenal end to the season. He's only, what, 20, 21? I'm not too sure, but yeah. I think Douglas Aurelio would be nice, but he's just got too much risk around him. But what about you guys, if you could pick any unique?
Yeah, obviously Martinelli is the only choice. I've seen a couple of managers talking about Florian Wirtz as well, but I think Martinelli you're absolutely sure you're getting a player that's going to be at Arsenal for the next 3-4 seasons. With Wirtz, you never know, he could move to Barcelona or something, and then he won't be covered. So for me, yeah, definitely Martinelli.
No, he's going nowhere. There's 2 Arsenal fans here, so like literally, no, he's going nowhere. We want to keep him in the team. If I could pick, honestly, I love the Martinelli shout. Obviously, I'm quite new to the game. Having, you know, a gunner of that level would be great. And since you guys have suggested that's, you know, not that I will ever be in the chance to win it, but if I did, then Martinelli. But I would be torn between him and Pelly, I think. Because just because I only have a common of him, and it would be really nice to have something better than just the common of him, because he is generally quite consistent. But yeah, like forward thinking and thinking of, you know, the Winter League and stuff like that, then yeah, it kind of has to be Martinelli. But there is a question directed to yourself, Gunnar, here, and it's says, ask Gunnar if he has heard anything about the formation of some kind of the Matrix Monsters team. They say the members of this gang are very strong indeed. So yeah.
So the Matrix Monsters are actually the name of a league that I formed, and I think we have Kai, Speedy, we have Joseph Kerr, we have Mourinho. Yeah, it's pretty star-studded, so you guys should watch out.
It's basically Man City, isn't it? Johnny, we may as well go home now, right? I know I'm not in your team, but I mean, we may as well go home, right?
I don't know. I'm feeling quite confident with my team.
Fighting talk.
I think we've got five players in the top 11 for the current season leaderboards. So I think we'll hopefully be up there as well. So Matrix Monsters, gotta watch their backs.
I love it. Good fighting talk. Cool. Okay. Well, I know we've had a lot of chat, and one of the questions was definitely, you know, what would be the reward you would pick, which we've covered. And I think a couple of the people like FPL Focus, welcome buddy, who are interested in potentially understanding Ultimate Champion a little bit more. Most of your questions have been answered in the chat. So we did have one from Roro who said, guys, notice the N Pawn or Pain plays this game week, right? Not so optimal team without him. So I'll throw that one to you, Johnny, and then over to Gunnar.
Well, I think he's on about Nikolai Pawn, who plays for Sepsi, and he was a must-have probably 4 months ago or something, when he was under 23, and he was just kind of banging out top scores every game week. But Sepsi went to the championship split in the Romanian league, and they kind of lost most games there, and his scores got butchered quite a bit. And yeah, they're playing against Ferrol this weekend, and I'm personally backing for all to win, so I don't think I'd really prioritise him, especially in leagues. I don't know about you, Civ, but I think he's a bit of a risk.
Absolutely not. I'm not going to pick Nicolas Pon. I don't even think he's so nailed on to start right now, because we saw at the tail end of last season when they brought in Enrico Papa back from Rizespor. Papa was getting ahead of.
We lost him again.
So I don't really know what's going on right now in terms of guy who is epic. But yeah, I'm not going to pick him.
Okay, cool.
I'd rather pick Andre Atian, to be honest, from Fanue.
Ah, okay. That's cool. That's another name for you guys there. And I did see somebody just asking about my FPL videos. I have been working very hard on some new animation graphics and some new setups for my channel. So I think I'm going to continue to do that for another week and then take my birthday week off, and then I will be back with you guys for the start of the season. But I will be doing some Ultimate Champion as well, you know, throughout all of that. So I'm still around. Don't worry, I haven't gone anywhere. Just I know a lot of people ramp up for the FPL season around now, but I wanted just to say to you guys that I am here, just working very hard behind the scenes and trying to get some new setups for you guys. So hopefully it'll be really exciting. But yeah, I think we've covered everything for Game Week 98. So make sure you get those teams set in. It's a 3 p.m. deadline, right, guys?
Yeah. So not long now, less than an hour, I think. But yeah.
Cool. Okie dokie. I was just wondering what's happened to Hansen. I really need this guy to play. Where is he? What's happened to him? Come on, Gunnar, you must know. Let me know.
Honestly, I have no idea. I
Oh,
don't so
I should have done that trade. I should have done that trade.
I was going to trade you Gabriel Megalis and John Udvik.
Yeah.
For
Hansen, yeah.
Hansen, and in that week, so I'm really glad we did that trade.
Yeah. This is one of those moments where I'm like, oh, I should have done it. But yeah, that's kind of another learning curve, I think, with the trading aspect of the game, which is quite nice. It's kind of luck based as well, though, isn't it? Really. So yeah. Cool. Well, we will leave it at that for today, so you guys can go on and do the tinkering you need to do, and you have enough time to do that. So thank you all so much for joining us. If you'd like to give Ultimate Champion a go, you can find the link in my description. If you do invest, though, remember only to put in what you can afford to lose, but you can play this game for free, and you can play it well for free. So it's not all about investing money in it. So please do give Johnny and Civilized Gunner a follow on Twitter. Their link is also in the description below. And we appreciate you watching today. Let me know if you've enjoyed it, what you would like to see in the future. And yeah, do give a like and a sub, because it goes a long way. Until next time, it's goodbye from these guys. It's goodbye from me, Nymphrey out.
Have a fantastic year with him, and you too, Johnny, and everyone else. Yeah.
Feels like I'm caught up in a trance. Can't come down all night. The city never stood a chance. With you by my side, it's all ours. So don't second guess. Let down your guard. Just take a chance. I feel the hours ticking down. Wish I could turn it all around, but in my mind we're frozen perfectly in time. Can we turn back the night and stay in this dream?